Sorry about that.
But I've seen her on your face while you're talking, and
Talking.
I just let it go because I don't know what I'm looking at. And again, I
Yeah.
don't want to sound like I'm nutty, but
No, it's true. And I think part of it is, maybe she's in and out of the body. Maybe she's coming through spirit. My aunt was extremely powerful. So, yeah, go ahead, Joe. What would you like to say?
Yeah, so this is very interesting. I had learned about and I had done it to myself. It was sit in front of a mirror with a candle just to the side and in a pitch black room and do the same thing. And someone said it was basically looking at yourself and then your past lives would start showing up for you. And then
Oh,
so I had done this and all of a sudden I could see what was behind me, like everything disappeared. I disappeared. And there was just the mirror and I could see the wall behind me. And it was super spooky and scary. I mean, I'm kind of new at all this and I didn't know what to expect and I scared myself with it. But it was very interesting just to see the different faces that would turn up in my face. It would just superimpose over my face. So it's kind of sounds
yeah,
like
and I don't know if it's definitely past lives per se. I do believe that it could be spirit in the spirit world. I also believe that it can be your guides coming through. The other time that I had the transfiguration, it was a past life because I had just gone through a past life regression and I was taking this class and we just started to go into meditation. And what I saw was on the instructor was exactly what I saw in my past life. So I knew him and myself were family in a past life. So that was pretty incredible. So that's how I made the connection, because it was truly amazing. And it was a lifetime where it wasn't like all the human constructs that we have, nothing like that at all. It was superimposed, onto his face, and it's just amazing. So thank you for that, Karen Michelle, and thank you, Joe, for sharing that. And so these are physical things. One of the things that we have done when we were in class, and John was there too, is that we did physical mediumship where we did table tipping. We also did spoon bending. And the reason we do spoon bending is not necessarily, when we think about physical mediumship, we're not just thinking about the phenomena, which these are phenomena, these are physical manifestations. It's more about the philosophy behind it, that something that is physical and we put certain properties to it that we've been taught, it just shows the molecular structure is constantly moving. And there are things that we can do to show that a lot of these things are illusions, that even though we have a hard surface here, it is constantly moving. And that's the same thing with a spoon. It has molecular structure. And so when we become one with the spoon, we can actually bend it. And my aunt could bend it with her mind without even touching it. We actually physically bent it because, and the funny thing is, girls, I got to tell you this, the guys, and you know this, John, the guys had a harder time with that than the girls. The girls got right into it and they bent it like you wouldn't believe. And the guys were going, "Are you kidding me?" Remember that, John? So, yeah, they had a hard time. But then when they saw the girls do it, then they're like, "Okay, I can do this," and then all of a sudden they were doing it too. So we had a wonderful time doing that. So just know that. And Then also flower readings. A lot of people will utilize a flower because the flower has energy, and you can actually talk to it and relate to it and become one with it. And you can actually use a flower for a reading as well. That's really beautiful. There's also scribes, okay, you guys. So like a lot of times I'll look off to the side where there's a blank wall, and all of a sudden things will build out for me, okay? But what they used to use are scries, which were, it's like you could like paint a black square, and on the black square, allow it to start to build out. And that will start to give you information as well. So I had a scry, I think I tossed it when I moved, but it was, what I did, I put it in a picture frame, and it was a black frame, and I used to practice, and I would allow it to build out. And it was really kind of cool. And then transmediumship as well. And this is where it's not just channeling, but allowing spirit to come fully in and speak. And you're parking your essence off to the side and allowing spirit to come in and speak through you. So those are some of the things. Now, we're not going to do that in this class right now because we're still working on the mechanics of mediumship, but I just wanted to give you some of that as well. And next week, we'll go through the do's and don'ts of, some of the ethics, morals, and values that you want to adhere to as you're giving readings as well. Okay. Now, to open ourselves up as far as starting a reading, a lot of times what they teach in Casadega, what they teach in Lilydale and so forth is, some of this is a little bit different. What I'll hear mediums say, as I step into your energy, what I do is I think about stepping into the energy of spirit. Remember that we talked about a psychic link and a mediumship link, and a medium holds both. And then if the person is too sensitive or they're like nervous, you can drop the psychic link and just link with spirit and blend with spirit. Okay. So when in Casadega, they say, as I step into your energy, and then they start to talk. And what I do as I step into spirit, and then I start to sense and feel who is here, and I start to, and I see this and I sense this. And what we don't want to say is I'm picking up. If we say I'm picking up, I guess, that's the difference between a good medium and a great medium. You want to talk in the terms of the clairs. I'm sensing this, I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, I'm knowing this, spirit is this. And so you want to make sure that you say those things, because it's also reinforcing it in you. What is the clair that you're experiencing right now? I'm feeling that this person had a heart condition. I'm seeing this. So you want to make sure that you deliver it in that way. The other thing is that when you're saying a message, remember you are representing spirit, okay? So spirit always empowers. Spirit always provides healing, always provides guidance, upliftment, and reassurance. So if this is the case where they're doing that, we always want to make sure that we're empowering people, that we are giving them free will. So when we deliver, we don't say, spirit is saying you should do this. That's the medium's opinion. We never want to deliver it in that way. We want to say, Think about this and see if it resonates with you. Something to that effect. And the reason we're doing that is because spirit always empowers, and we are representing spirit. We are serving spirit. So we have to make sure that what we do is empowering people to have their own free will, whether they follow that guidance or not. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is just to represent spirit and deliver the message. Okay? Makes sense? And I also make sure that I don't use the word think, because thinks means we're in our mind and we're connecting with spirit, and we want to be in our heart, right? So we always want to say, I'm sensing, I'm seeing, I'm feeling, I'm hearing. Okay? Any comments or questions about that? Yeah, Kathy.
Well, I actually had a comment on your what you were saying previously. I did a reading on a candle flame. And
Oh, yeah. You can do that. Yeah.
yeah, I found that came through very well. And yeah, I was just going to say, you know, like the tea leaves, kind of a similar thing. I
Yeah.
did tea, so I did it with a candle flame. Mm-hmm.
That's
And
really interesting. Well, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say you answered my other question earlier, so that's good.
Oh, okay. What was it? Well, share it, because maybe we need to reinforce it.
No, it was on the throat chakra. I
Yeah.
tend to get a tightness in my throat, even when I'm meditating. And when Joe and I were together, I said, you know, I think it might just be spirit confirming that they're with me. You know, that's my body is reading spirit, and it's that way. And I'm not real comfortable with it, because it's like, well, is this a message? Is this one of the clairs that I'm feeling about this spirit that's here? So I've asked them to back off unless it's important.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Well, great. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Hey, John. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a quick point I wanted to make. Sometimes in the beginning, you know, because I haven't been doing it quite as long as you, the sensations can be a little uncomfortable. We'll put it at that. You know, a little stronger than you'd like. And you can ask them to back off on it. And they will. They'll lighten it up so that you can still get it, but not have to shut it down, but not get overwhelmed by it. Because sometimes the sensations in the beginning, you're just getting all of it, and it's like, bam. And just so ask them to back off on it and see if that helps. And then you're still getting the message, but not getting overwhelmed.
Right. Exactly. And to that point, John, thank you for bringing that up, because that also reminded me that, remember, you can ask questions. You can say, slow it down, give it to me again. What is this supposed to mean? You know, you can have a dialogue. And what I do when I'm doing a reading, I'm actually having a dialogue with spirit as I'm delivering. So I have kind of this thing going on, okay, where I'm asking more information and I'm delivering, and that's going on at the same time. So just know that that it's like, okay, you're showing me a cookie. What kind of cookie is it? Why is this important? You know, that type of thing. So we're getting more and more specific on the evidence for the person that's in front of us. You know, and one of the things that started happening when I really started blending with spirit is, all of a sudden, the spirit, I'm standing in the kitchen with the spirit, and I'm watching her do certain things, or she's taking me on the tour of a home. So all of a sudden I'm seeing, a kitchen on the right side and the dining room off to the right. And over here is the family room. And she's taking me and she says, look at this picture over here. And all of a sudden, and then there's a piano in the corner, and oh, there's a cross on the, above the piano. And so everything starts to build out. And the key is allowing this to all kind of start to come together. And where I was doing this one reading, and I saw the shed, the garage in the back, and the front porch, and the two pillars, and I saw lilac bushes and the hedges over on the right. And then, there was a great deal of land before you came to the street, and there's a deep dirt road and a field on the other side. And that was very meaningful to the sitter. The reason is that I was describing her grandma's house, and then all of a sudden I see her sipping on a teacup on the front porch. And that's something that, so that is a different type of gift that came in, where I'm not just getting the evidence, but now I'm having this relationship, and the spirit is walking me through a day in the life of that spirit. And then all of a sudden there's a willow tree, and there's, and it just starts to build out. So just know that your gifts are it's just gonna be like a lotus petal just opening up. And the other thing is that what can happen is, to your point, Kathy, how you read a candle flame. I went to do a land clearing, and I put my back up against the tree, and the tree started showing me everything. So just know that anything that has a spirit, it can bring information to you. Okay. Yeah, Stacy. Good to see you, by the way.
Yeah. My question, I kind of put it in the chat, but I don't know if you can answer it. I don't know if you can answer it, but I kind of find that I'm missing the lower dimensionals, and I find I jump straight into like past lives or higher being energy. Like I'm kind of missing that connection with, that, if we want to call it the fourth dimensional kind of, is there something I can do to, I mean, I'll be out and about and I can read other people's like past lives and that like crazy, but I'm not getting that lower connection.
Well, that's really interesting. Do you remember, and I'm looking for it right now, the PowerPoint presentation, and it showed kind of the hierarchy where, there's different planes, right? And so right next to us is the spirit world, and that's where our ancestors and our loved ones who've passed are right close to us. And as you raise your vibration, you can go into these other realms, right? Where there's ascended masters and past lives and elementals and all these other things. And so that is where your gift might lie. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's, and like I have a friend who's very, very good at angel readings and working with ascended masters and guides and past lives, but she doesn't want to deal with the mediumship stuff because she kind of has a block where when she was younger, she was frightened by these spirits, and then she set something up with her guides where they have to actually come in and say, can you help me? And if they approach her with, can you help me? Then she's willing to help them. but she feels more comfortable in the other realms. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, what you're doing is you're shooting way up over that dimension. So if you want to develop that, it certainly can happen, right? It's just, you know, that's kind of, you know, you can kind of, it's there. It's actually there. It's just, it's about the symbols that are coming in, the information that's coming in, and being able to read it. And you might just be pushing that away.
Okay, it just, I
Okay.
would like to develop it just because I'm in so many groups with other people who have had murdered loved ones and that, and I'd really like to do some more work helping those people because I know so
Yeah.
many of them, right? You know,
Yeah.
whereas the past life thing, not everyone can grab that, right? Like
Yeah.
if I can say I can see your dragon or fairies around you, people aren't. But if I can connect to their loved ones, I think I can help a lot of more people.
Yeah, and it is kind of a lower vibration, but it also is something, if you're shooting there, I would think this other should come through as well.
Yeah, I might be pushing it away.
It's just yeah, and it's just understanding how they're speaking to you and allowing that to come through. John, you had a comment?
Yeah, I was just wondering if it might be the way that she's connecting. When she's sitting with the person, is she asking who's here for this person to maybe help bring their relatives through instead of shooting straight up?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I can see ways
Yeah,
I can
just
work with
ask.
that more.
Yeah, start asking questions. Set the intention with your guides. It's like, I want to learn this, and I know, since I can see these other things, that you can help me develop it, because it's really, that is going up higher, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Now also the other thing, mediumship, and how I guess what I want to ask is talk a little bit about the psychic and the focal point of a psychicness, you know. How are you guys, does that come easier or more difficult? Have you worked with that a little bit? I'm just curious. We haven't spent a lot of time on that. And I guess what I mean, okay, go ahead, Karen Michelle.
I think I'm getting a little thrown off by the question. When I would be
Okay.
in therapeutic practice, I used to have and I still get this with different people now, but different people who had passed away in their lives I would see them. And
Okay.
and sometimes they would look like they were walking in the door with them, as in, to me, they would look like they were still, like they were here. I didn't know that they had passed on. So it would sometimes surprise me when I would ask about who did you bring with you, and they didn't. And that
Oh my God.
times where
What a gift. Yeah. What a gift. You're so gifted.
it was a little jolting to me. It was a little jolting to them too. But in a couple of those cases, it helped to solve what it was an unsolved case, and so it was helpful for them. And I had never done that before, and that was between 2009 and 2012. And so I just did that on the side. I left that. That was
That's amazing. That is so amazing. I just love that. I had one. Yeah, that's really great. And that's really mediumship, right? And, you know, and I've had similar experiences where I saw somebody walk in and sit down at the table, and I walked up to them. And as I was walking up to them, I walked up to them. I was actually waiting tables when I was younger. And there was no way that this person could have, and I walked up to the table and I started to speak and there was no one there. And so I've had that happen. It's like, oh boy, did I look stupid, you know? But, you know, and that's really mediumship. And so psychicness is reading the person in front of you. All of a sudden, you're starting to get information about the person in front of you. And whether you use, I don't read tarot. There's a lot of people that read tarot, but it's more of a focal point. Like my aunt she would like do a squiggly line on a piece of paper. And to her, whatever that squiggly line was, they use that in remote viewing where they do a squiggly line and she knows exactly what it means. And that's psychic. It's not spirit. It's not coming through as mediumship. It's coming through as psychic. So that's the difference. If all of a sudden, you know, like Karen Michelle, I just, you know, like, I don't read cards at all, but I have some right here, you know, and I just pull a card for you. And, you know, it's something where, for me, I can see how you have lived your life and you have just this wonderful wisdom about you. That's really beautiful. Not only, I mean, that's something that, you know, getting to talk to you, we know that, but it's also about the decisions that you've made in your life that is really, really beautiful. And not only that, but you've had things that have happened in your life where there's been some advancement and growth, but you've gotten on top of it. You see, so in other words, I'm reading you and the energy of you versus who's coming in from spirit. Does that make sense? That's the difference. Yeah, Anita.
So I just want to clarify, make sure I understand, because what you're explaining right now is telling me that I misunderstood. Like I use tarot cards, I use oracle cards, I do dowsing, I'm a pendulum. So all of that I knew were, you know, that's psychic reading. I thought that mediumship reading wasn't only communicating with spirit. I thought that was also psychic. I thought mediumship could only be communicating with someone who had crossed over. So that's not true, is what you're saying, right? That mediumship is always when you're connecting with spirit and not with the other human in their body in front of you, it's always mediumship, correct?
Well, I don't want to confuse you, so maybe I just did, and I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
So psychic is where you're connecting with that person and the energy around them. Now, I'm not saying that spirit isn't involved in that process. Right. I truly believe that they are. They're guiding that process. I believe that they're setting things up so symbolically, like how you might work with, like you're asking spirit with the pendulum. You know, you go to the essence of your spirit and all of a sudden they ask you a yes or no question and you know it's yes.
Right. Yeah, because this is a divination tool. So you're communicating with the divine, you're communicating with spirit.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's spirit as a whole. Okay. So that's psychic. You're reading their energy. Spirit is involved in that. But when you're bringing through their loved one, that's mediumship.
Okay. So then I was right the way I was understanding it. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
exactly. Yeah. I hope I didn't confuse
No,
them.
no. Now I'm back to where I was before. So it's all
okay. All right. Good. Good. Why don't we take like a 5-minute break? Then we're going to go into like a meditation, and then we're going to practice again. Okay. And then come back and we'll be ready to meditate. Does that work for everybody? Did I answer everybody's question for now? Is that all right? Okay, cool. Okay, John, we're back from the break. You had a comment you want to make?
Oh, yeah, I just typed it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. Hold on. Yes, exactly. That's right. I forgot about that. Absolutely. Okay, Robin, that's fine. It's getting late over there. That's fine. Yeah, so exactly right. John put something in the chat that says, psychics perceive and mediums receive. So yeah, that's really a good explanation there. Okay, so how many people? 2, 4, 6, 8. So it looks like I'm going to go into group with someone. Let's go ahead and we're going to start a meditation and we're going to blend with spirit. I'm going to wait until Karen Michelle comes back. And we're going to start building the energy of the group. So we'll wait until she's back. Oh, hi, Karen Michelle. There we go. All right. So, why don't we go ahead? If you guys want to turn off your camera or whatever you want to do, that's fine. We're going to get comfortable and I'm going to take you through kind of a meditation. And the goal is really to build the energy like we've been doing. You guys are doing a great job. And I want to make sure that you all know that you will get a certificate that says that you've completed the mechanics of mediumship. I think it's really important because you guys have dedicated and committed yourself to this 6-week course. So I just want to make you aware of that. I just got to get time to put that together. So just know that, okay? All right. And so why don't we go ahead and get comfortable? If you want to leave your camera on or if you want to turn it off, that's fine. We're just going to start to build the group together. And then we're going to go and do one-on-ones with everybody. So that will be really good. Okay. Okay. All right. Start to take some deep breaths. Inhale up. Then exhale down. Start to relax your body. And really ground yourself, come into your body and really ground yourself. And go into the heart behind the heartbeat is where we connect with spirit. And just really relax as you inhale up and you exhale. Inhale out and exhale. Inhale, relaxing part of your body, every part of your body. Exhale. Inhale. Make sure you're fully grounded to Mother Earth through visualizing your body being grounded through your feet where their roots are coming down. And just relax and allow the energy to build. And we connect with spirit through the breath and we inhale up and exhale. Imagine all your chakras being aligned, fully in alignment and bright as can be. Inhale up and exhale. And if you like the visualization of taking off the skin and just allowing your light to shine and you become pure essence, whatever it takes to get you to the point that you know that you're of light and love and we're blending with spirit. Now with the visualization of the light going all the way up through the chakras, all the way up through the crown of the head, connecting with our God source and dropping it into our heart where the essence of our spirit lies. And we start to blend. And we imagine all the people that are here in the group. We are forming a circle and we're holding hands. And we start to build the energy between all of us. And the energy is going counterclockwise all the way around. And the energy is building and we are blending. And now we're going to move it the other direction, going clockwise. And feel the energy between all of us, just blending. Good. And now let's invite all of our guides in to help us, our protector, our healer, our main guide, our higher self. And we are so grateful that you've come to assist us in this wonderful exercise together. We ask that you open us up and teach us so we can learn to blend with spirit, that we receive blessings both seen and unseen, and that we express our gratitude. We know that the information that's going to come through today will be of guidance, healing, upliftment, and reassurance as we go through this wonderful experience together today to start to develop our mediumship abilities as we practice all the clairs, and that spirit teaches us as we work with them to deliver wonderful messages from loved ones and the spirit of love. And take a moment to spend some time with your guides, or questions. Just take a few minutes to do this before we go into group. We give thanks for this wonderful time. And as we hold this energy with our guides, we're now going to go into the groups.
And I was like, what the heck is that? And then I clued in, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, how did everybody do? I spent some more time with different groups and everything, but did you get the feeling of spirit and the love that comes through from their loved ones and all of that? Did you really feel it? Good. And you might have to unmute yourself. I'm sorry. I think I muted everybody and I didn't mean to. Hold on just a second.
we didn't quite finish.
Okay, you didn't. Okay.
We
But
were
they-
just, we
they did
just
real
got
well.
to where we were just getting, where Anita was giving me feedback from the evidence side of it. But we didn't get to the message yet, so.
Okay. Do you want to finish up really quick? I mean, Anita, do you have a message you want to give feedback or?
Oh, no pressure.
Or if it's too much, it's okay.
I-
Certainly you guys can connect after class if you want to, direct message each other if you want to.
Okay.
Or what do you want to do, Michelle? What are your thoughts? I want to be flexible here.
Okay, well, I know the three of us were kind of all giving feedback, so we didn't get a chance to work with John either, so.
John gets readings all the time. I'm kidding. I don't mean to discount it, but anyway, we all
Oh.
work with John, but you know, I didn't mean that. John knows we're friends. But people that don't know that we're friends, but you know, I don't want to take away from John, especially if you feel led to continue on. That's fine. And you know, this is the other thing too. I do have a quick reading at 4:15, but I can make one of you guys the host. I can stop recording and allow you guys to continue if you want to finish up your thing. Do you want to do that? Do you have time?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have time today.
Okay.
We can
But
all
you,
connect
but,
right through
but
Facebook.
Kathy, you guys finished, right? You and Stacy finished?
I would say, yeah, we're both
Okay.
kind of on a high right now from.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. And then Joe and Davina, did you guys pretty much finish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it's really Karen, Michelle, John, and Anita, right? Okay. So do you guys, what I can say is that that's what I had today, and I'm glad you were able to experience this. I'm going to stop the recording really quick. So thank you guys. Hold on.